homies. I cannot explain to you the redemption I feel. It's just so much fun to where you can just kind of let go for a minute and be like, you know what? Things aren't perfect. They're not even as great as I would want them to be, but you are lying to yourself if you're going to sit there and try to convince yourself that you can't put some passion into whatever you're doing, regardless of if it's meeting the standard you previously set or the expectations that you want to meet. You know, you can't really choose when your best performance is going to happen. You know, it's just putting in that effort until you get to that point. That's really important, you know? I see so many people try their absolute hardest to just beat either other people or their own past self. And I'm here to burst your bubbles because none of that matters in the long run, realistically. Like, it's good to have a healthy competition, you know? But for me, the main focus always comes back to what can I do right now in this second, you know? What present ideology can I instill into the lifts today that are going to make it to where whatever I wanted to hit today will eventually happen even sooner than I can imagine because of how well I performed. You know, not just for the sake of my ego, even though that's a big part of it too, but just for the sake of the experience and getting to know my body a little bit better, you know? The hardest part about any sort of lifting, whether it's Olympic or power or bodybuilding, whatever, is getting to know yourself, you know, your own physical body. It's a damn mystery, to say the least. And no matter how long you spend with it, it is always going to change, and you are always going to have to adapt to it because that's just how it works, you know? You're always going to change and grow or weaken or adapt a new skill that makes everything different, you know? Like with my clean and jerks now, my shoulders have gotten too big to do the previous grip. This has led to me widening my grip by about half an inch. That's a small amount, but it makes a large impact because the timing's completely different now. And I have to relearn how to do a movement I've been doing for years. And, you know, like I was looking back at it today, and I already can tell that I'm starting too far forward over the bar in the starting position because initially, with my more narrow grip, I had to. Because with my shoulders being too wide for that stance, I had to make up for it by leaning slightly over the bar so that I could have a harder pull into my waist. But now that the range of motion is increased, it's more emphasis on the technique, which does make it harder in its own way. So I have to, you know, realign my shoulders with the bar, having my shoulders perfectly vertical over the bar. And while that may feel like it needs to be over the bar by an extra half inch like it used to, I have to adapt what I know to be correct because my body's so used to working with at its maximum potential with an inefficient technique, you know? But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I decided to have a little bit of fun, you know? I looked at the calendar, and I've been mentioning it. I'm leaving town for a week for Christmas. I think the 19th is when I'm going. So I looked, and I kind of realized I only have time for one more week of training from today. And that's fine. You know, it's not an issue or anything. It's just the fact that I was planning on having 2 weeks of training. And it was only going to be like 1 week plus half a week. And I don't like doing that. So, to make up for the time, because I've been feeling so good physically lately, you know, the deloading and just doing comfortable volume stuff has been working really well for myself. I decided that it'd be good to implement half of what I wanted to do with the complex variation deload week. That'll be on the normal program. That was what I was going to do after a full week of deloading, but I don't have time now. So since the snatches and the bench feel completely fine, I thought, why not just try to emphasize the technique through some different variations and really push the strength a little bit while I've got time to. Because realistically, I had today's bench day, and I'll probably only have like 2 more bench days from today. So I need to make sure I optimize what I'm doing before I leave for a week. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to work out where I'm at. On snatch, definitely was feeling a bit fatigued from getting back into the gym after taking a little break since I had that little strain on my left quad. My bicep specifically definitely was feeling it. I know a lot of people don't realize this, but especially pulling a snatch movement, you actually strain your bicep tendon pretty hard if you haven't been consistent. I've definitely pulled my bicep tendon. It's like it lies like right underneath the bicep, and it is a bitch, to say the least. It it'll make it hard to even, like if you have a strained bicep tendon, you are not going to be able to hold a clean and jerk position, because just squeezing your forearm into the bicep feels like you're just tearing something. But felt good enough to try out some good different kind of movement. So I thought, let's just keep it simple. I'm getting back into the movement. I want to really feel everything out. So I just did, I label it as slowest tempo, not just slow tempo. And I know that it may seem like I could have gone slower, but what I have to remind myself is that slowest tempo isn't just going as slow as humanly possible no matter what I do. It's going as slow as possible as long as there's still an image of success for that lift in my mind while I'm doing the tempo. That's the hardest part about it. It's maintaining the technique, the tightness, the consistency, but on top of all of that, maintaining a proper, successful image of yourself the whole way through. You can't just force yourself to go so slow that you automatically know you're not going to be able to do it, because then if you have that slightest inkling of failure, you're not going to be able to dive underneath the bar. I'm telling you. Got up to 2 plates. Very surprised by that. It was a struggle for sure, but great technique. I had a very good high pull. I was happy with it. I will say I jumped the gun a little bit on the 225. I tried to stand up just slightly quicker than I needed to. I'm trying to get better at holding it in the bottom position if I can, just to restabilize the way I want to. But I'm the kind of guy that likes to just jump out of the hole right away, because if I sit there for too long, I might let it go behind my head, and I just do not want that no matter what. So my shoulders did go back a little further than it needed to, but no pain. My mobility work has predicted this kind of thing. Having a little bit of a hyperextension behind my head is all right, as long as I evenly balance out the rest of my body to match that kind of effort. And successfully done, to say the least. It felt wonderful. Got hyped up by the homies. Couldn't be happier with that. Bench press was redeeming. So redeeming. Oh man. It was great to get back on that, because I've talked about it a couple times in the past bench videos, but has not felt good in a month, at least. On the past program, I was just doing a single heavy top set per whatever bench or squat day, just to see, I'm a big experimenter when it comes to my programming, and that was just not optimal in the slightest. Not that it messed up my strength, but it wasn't being used properly, so whenever I got heavy, I just couldn't do shit. So today was focusing on hitting 3 sets of 6, and the variation, I just wanted to focus on getting that very optimal explosion without my chest or shoulder hurting like it was before from the heavyweight. So I just wanted to do some really good repetitions that would emphasize that, that bottom position, that hard drive, because I'm used to focusing on the sticking point for the most part, but I really just wanted to make sure that the main part of the lift was confident, because it has not been in a minute, and that is an issue, to say the least. I'm definitely going to feel the positive qualities from this workout next week, because damn, it felt good. I had a really consistent technique, other than just the very, very last rep. But at that point, my arms were numb, dude. I did get a little egotistical, because I could have kept it at 255, but it felt so good that I just wanted to try that slightly heavier weight, not just for the sake of going heavier, because 275 is not heavy for me anymore. It's the fact of that slightly comfortable heavy weight that would get me back in that peaked kind of feeling. I feel prepped to do another bench day at a very high level of intensity. That's what I wanted. 255 wouldn't have challenged me enough to where I could actually visualize a really intense future bench workout. I only did 2 sets because, quite frankly, I burned out. It was just slightly too much. I think that if I had not done heavy snatches beforehand, it would have gone. But again, I don't work with woulda, coulda, shoulda. I put in the good ass effort I could in the moment. I couldn't be happier, and no pain at all. Great drive, even with slight elbow flare on the very last rep that I couldn't get. I got 5.5 reps right at the end. I got right to that sticking point, but it just, my arms, my forearms and my shoulders were numb, dude. I could not hold it for the life of me. But that's that kind of failure that I need to experience. That's the one that's going to make me the strongest I could be for when I try to really push it next time, Physically, dude. 9.35. It felt ecstatic today. Today was the first day back since the little strain and a little bit of inconsistencies in the past program where I really feel like I'm getting back on my stride. Really, really, really happy with that. I cannot complain. I'm setting up super well. I'm not gonna go as intense on the clean and jerk day after my rest day tomorrow because I haven't done anything heavy on clean and jerk in a week and a half now. So I need to really make sure I don't overdo it. Like the first day I came back the other day, when I got on my heavy snatch or my comfortable heavy snatches, I just went to 2 plates for 1 single just to make sure it was there, just that little boat of confidence to then pick it up. So I'll do what I did this first half of the week, and I'll do probably 275 for hopefully a confident, comfortable heavy single, and then I'll move up to a heavy variation the next day I come in at the end of the week and just try to mess around like I did today. Mentally, I get 9.6. I'm feeling it. I cannot complain whatsoever. I love being able to put as much passion as I want into whatever I do. It's not so much of just putting in passion to put in passion, because I already know how to do it. I know that I'm confident in embracing whatever passions I have in the moment. But dude, when you're just strolling through life the way you feel like, even if you're not as successful as some people think you should be, or if you're not at the pace you think you should be at, that's some FOMO bullshit. If you're doing the best you can with optimal 100% passion through just your own experience and your own wants, then dude, be happy. Embrace that. You guys have seen my training the past month and a half. It's not been great. That does not stop the love for it. It's not, the weights are always going to be an accessory. The health, the strength, the confidence, the mobility, all of those are accessories. They're assets of the sport that I do. It's solely to selfishly increase my love for just life in general, just wanting to keep making those steps to challenge myself and push through the suffering to always come out better on the end, no matter what number goes up. That's something I love about the gym. It's really taught me to let go of the materialistic or FOMO ideologies that can just tank your motivation. I was talking to some homies about it today, and it's so difficult to explain this when you're in that low point. Trust me, I've been there. If you go back to the first self-positive talk that I did on this channel, it was October of last year, in 2023. It's the FOMO video. You'll see it in big letters on the thumbnail. That was the first one I ever did, because I was at a low point. I did not know shit of what I wanted to do. I wasn't confident. I just was rolling, and that was the first step I needed to at least try to enlighten my negative mindset into something that could be trained into consistently fighting off those negative daily stressors, Because you're always going to go through the shit, no matter what. No matter how positive you are or I am, I'm going to go through the shit of it every time. It happens every single day, whether you realize it or not. But being able to convince yourself, there are 2 very important aspects to life that I live and die by. The first is just knowing that it is a choice to work obligationally. When it comes to work and making money and just trying to survive, it is a choice to be obligational about the work that you do. I know a lot of people will sit there and say, life's got it after me. I don't like working my seemingly dead-end job, whatever. You got to be grateful for those, just even if they seem so stupid and so easy. It's your effort that's going to make it a worthwhile experience. People say that college is a waste of time now, and to an extent, a lot of college is a joke. I'm about to graduate, and it's pretty ridiculous how inefficient the system is and how much it doesn't really teach people for the jobs they're trying to get into. But regardless of that, that's not what's going to dictate my college experience, not the ideologies of the majority or what I know to be the negative aspects of it. I'm going to look at those negatives and say, how can I make a negative system better solely for my own personal gain? Because I'm choosing to be in college. If I didn't give a shit, I would have dropped out, but I care. And so it's those efforts of like the critical thinking you get, teaching yourself how to teach yourself alone is a golden experience. That's what the gym has built up for myself in its own way, to where I constantly come and bounce back every time, because that's what it means to want to live for a higher future of yourself, the best possible potential that you can reach, you know? And then the second part is not just knowing, but truly believing. Like, I mean, really believing and having faith in the fact that no matter what step you take, no matter what traumas you experience, no matter what setbacks slap you in the face and make you think that it's not worth living through, that it's going to be okay. Because it always will be, as long as you can fortify that mindset. I'm telling you, it's not just forcing yourself to fake it. It's truly believing in it by surrounding yourself with a positive environment, with positive stressors. You know, people always think that stressors have to be negative. Look at the gym. The gym for me now is a genuine addiction. And I don't mean that lightheartedly, even though I'm joking about it halfway. I obsess over it. I have to go. I need to go. But not for an unhealthy reason. It's that separation of, I can step back if it's genuinely hurting me. But if I'm okay, if I'm breathing, if I'm living, I have to push myself through the challenge of suffering in order to just at least try and know that I am capable of something more than what I originally believed in myself to be. And once you get that initial step out of the way, where you can actually sit there and tell yourself that you're capable of doing more, that's just the beginning, man. Look at me. It's the past program I worked out through was not optimal whatsoever. It made me feel shitty. It made me put down. I've been slightly injured back and forth. But I know, because of what I've been through in the past, I've been training for it's been 7.5 years, 3.5 of Olympic lifting. And knowing through all that I've managed to push through every time, no matter how long it takes, no matter how gruesome it may seem, without putting an expectation on time, I can grow through it. I don't care if it takes years. I will become a better version of myself, because I know that it's there. It's just believing that it's there that creates the separation of obligation and passion, you know? Oh, it gets me. It gets me hyped up, man. It truly does. I have no plans for the future right now. Not to say that I don't have goals and aspirations, but no plan is ever going to go according to what you want it to be. That's another big thing I think people need to realize. Whatever you think you have planned for yourself, whatever you're working toward, whether it's your major, your gym life, your social life, your relationships, none of it is going to go to plan. Never. We work with life. Life don't work with us. That is a huge thing I like to tell people. It's true. And it's I'm looking at my future, and it's like, I'd like to get some higher degree in psychology. I could do sports psychology. I could train people. It's just, it's a matter of doing several things, trying new things consistently that you can genuinely feel passion for, or that you at least know that you can create passion from, even if it appears obligational, is what creates the best potential for success in the future. You know, that's why I'm doing these videos. That's why I'm doing the gym. That's why I want to train people. That's why I want to do my degree in psych, and I'm working at the hospital. I'm doing all these different things on top of meeting as many people as I can, because I want to be surrounded by what can be the most positive environment that I can surround myself in the future with, you know? And I don't care if I reach the highest point or not, because whatever I do, I know I put my absolute best toward. Because the biggest fear that people have when it comes to success in life, it's not whether the opportunity is going to happen. Everybody has an opportunity that arises at some point. You're never going to be able to choose when. You're never going to know when it's going to happen. But an opportunity for success and higher potential is going to happen at some point. It's just whether or not you put in the consistency, discipline, and passion through those efforts to make it match what is needed for that opportunity. You know, you have to be ready for it when it shows itself. And that is what gets people to that next step, you know? That's at least what I believe. But that's enough. I'm hyped, man. I gotta go. I gotta get emotional about it. That's what's making me want to come back so much more. But let me know how your lives and lives have been going. I appreciate y'all hearing me out. You know, I love yapping your ears off. But good rest day tomorrow. I'm going to eat like a pig and enjoy myself because, damn it, I deserve it. And I know I deserve it. I'm telling you what, if you're even thinking, if you're even questioning whether you put in enough effort, it means you probably didn't. Because I'm sitting here, I know exactly how much effort I put in, and I know I'm proud of it because I pushed till I couldn't push no more. I'll be back day after tomorrow. Love you guys. See ya.